best way to learn a language this year. If you do a quick Google search, you'll find that there are many different strategies and many different ways to learn a language. Some are good, some are bad. Some are modern, some are old-fashioned or outdated. But in today's video, I want to teach you a strategy that I find particularly useful because it reflects something that you probably already do. If you are somebody who exercises, then this strategy will be quite easy for you to implement. My name is Michael Anton. I'm the founder of English at the Ready, and I've helped over 4 million students on social media improve their English. Let's get right into the video and talk about why exercise is so similar to learning a new language. You see, when you exercise, you improve your physical health. You work your muscles, you improve your stamina, your cardiovascular health, which refers to your heart. And when you learn a new skill, whether that's a language or something else, you're working your brain. Now, the brain is technically not a muscle, but it functions in many of the same ways. You see, if you don't use a muscle regularly, you will become weaker. If you don't use certain parts of your brain, or at least review things regularly when learning a language, you will forget them. Your brain and your body need regular exercise to stay in shape and to stay fit. So I'm going to give you an exercise routine to help you improve your English this year. Now, the first step is to identify your weaknesses. Some of you watching this might find it difficult to speak. Maybe you don't know what to say when somebody talks to you. Maybe you lack the vocabulary to express yourself in English. Some of you can express yourself very well already, but you struggle with your accent. You want to improve your pronunciation. You want people to be able to understand you when you pronounce words. Some of you might be preparing for the IELTS. Some of you might find it difficult to conjugate verbs correctly. Regardless, everybody is faced with a unique set of challenges when learning a language. But the great thing is this strategy works regardless. The first step here is to identify your weaknesses. I want you to take a pen and paper and write them down. Be honest with yourself. I'm sure you already know this at some level. What do you find most difficult about English? Is it your speaking, your listening, your accent, your grammar, your confidence? What do you find most difficult about English? And step one just involves writing 3 or 4 things down on a sheet of paper and identifying what you actually need to work on. Now, once you've identified what you need to work on and what you have trouble with, I want to take you back to the gym and use that analogy once again. Every set of problems you have, whether that's speaking, vocabulary, listening, pronunciation, whatever it is, I want you to treat those as separate muscle groups. Maybe pronunciation represents your leg muscles. Maybe speaking represents your chest muscles. Maybe grammar represents your back muscles. Think of these skills as muscle groups. And I want you to think of them as muscle groups because you're not going to work on them at the same time. You see, if you've ever been to the gym or you ever followed an exercise routine, you know that you can't do everything at once every single day because your muscles will get tired. You need to allow some time to rest in between workouts. And it's the exact same thing when learning English. If you do the same thing every single day for several hours, you don't give your brain any time to rest and you don't give your brain any time to process what you've learned. This is one of those instances where you don't actually need to do a lot. It's better to spend 40 minutes to an hour, 3 days, 4 days a week doing something very intensively and staying focused than it is to do something every day, but not be as concentrated, not be as focused. So let's say your 3 weaknesses are pronunciation, speaking, and grammar. On Monday, you spend an hour with pronunciation. On Wednesday, you spend an hour with speaking. And on Friday, you spend an hour with grammar. 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, could be Thursday, could be Tuesday, whatever day it is, you're spending time with these specific skill sets and you're allowing enough time for your brain to rest in between. You can structure this however you want. Some of you might find it better to do something 4 days, 5 days a week, especially if you have more time. If you're super busy and you don't have a lot of time, you might only do 2 or 3 days a week. Find a schedule that works for you and stick to it. You're not going to become fluent in a week. You're not going to become fluent in a month. It's going to take a lot longer. But as long as you choose a schedule that's realistic and fits your life, you're a lot more likely to stick with it over the long term. And if we're going back to the analogy of the gym or of exercise, you can think of this like strength training. You're going to the gym, you're spending 40 minutes, you're staying focused, you're lifting weights. Now, there's something else you should be doing regularly as well. And honestly, I recommend doing this every single day. I'll get to that in a moment. But before we continue, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to English at the Ready here on YouTube if you're enjoying the video. And if you want to study with me and my team of expert English teachers, click the link in the description below to apply for our premium online programs. So we've discussed strength training and how you should lay out your week. I want to talk to you now about cardio, running, jogging, swimming, anything that gets your heart rate up. Speaking is a more active skill, and listening and reading are more passive skills. You should ideally be doing this every single day. Seriously, the single most useful thing you can do if you want to expand your vocabulary, if you want to become more familiar with the language, is to read as much as possible and on as many different topics as possible. Recently, I've been recommending my students read the news. There's a lot going on in the world right now, some of it positive, some of it negative, but reading the news is a great way of expanding your vocabulary, especially because the news is relevant to your life. It could be local news, it could be national news, or it could be global or international news. Personally, I recommend sites like BBC, The Guardian, that's a good one as well. Those are British sites. If you want something American, you could read CNN. Canadian, you could read CBC. Reading the news is a great way to stay informed with what's going on in the world, but also to improve your English. Ideally, you should be spending 15 to 20 minutes every single day doing something passive, like reading or watching a movie or the news, in addition to the more active study of grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, and speaking, obviously depending on your needs and depending on your specific situation. We have strength training and we have cardio, and that combination is going to keep your brain fit, and it's going to set you on the right track to improve your English and to speak more confidently and fluently. Let me know in the comments, what do you find most difficult about English? Is it speaking? Is it grammar? Is it vocabulary? Or is it something else? If you found this video useful, leave a like, subscribe to English at the Ready here on YouTube. And if you'd like to study with me and my team of expert English teachers, click the link in the description below to apply for our premium online programs. We have group classes, private classes, video classes, and so much more. So click the link to apply.